Welcome to Refined Savage. Today we're going to be talking about rotational stone putting for Highland games. So this is the final video in the series of full throws for the stone put. So we're going to go over rotational stone putting, when you should use it, why you should use it, and if you should be using it at all, and then how to go about doing it. Okay, chances are if you're watching this video and trying to learn how to do rotational shot putting, you should quit now and leave and go back to our other videos on the glide or the South African. Rotational stone putting is not an easy thing to learn, and you're probably not going to learn it from a video. But for those of you who are going to try this, we're going to try to give you the most definitive video possible on how to do the rotational stone put. That being said, like I said in other videos, when I left the sport, the majority of the throwers were using a South African technique and throwing in distances over 60 feet. When I came back, a lot of guys had switched over to the full rotation. A lot of guys that switched over to the full rotation but don't have quite the athletic ability or knowledge to do it correctly. It's a very difficult technique and not one to be taken lightly. So if you want to try this, we're going to give you the best video possible, but my suggestion is, especially if you're a new thrower or don't have a lot of experience, look at the glide or South African techniques. So let's talk about your setup. In the back of the ring, you're going to be set up with your back towards the throwing area. Your foot setup is going to be wherever it's going to be comfortable for you. So hip width or a little bit wider tends to be the right position. Nice athletic position. Some people are going to be a little bit wider, some people a little bit narrower. It's totally going to be up to you. The key out of the back is being able to turn the left foot. And matter of fact, turning the feet in either the South African or the full rotation is the hardest part and the most important part of the throw. So when starting out of the back, we want to get into an athletic position with our feet. Knees don't have to be extremely deep. Remember, this is going to be a hip lift in the middle, so we want you to be able to facilitate some movement. So again, nice athletic position, slight knee bend, be able to bounce and move. To turn out of the back, you're going to start with your chest high, arm out in front of you. Some people prefer thumb up, some prefer thumbs down. The thumb down tends to help you wrap a little bit better in the middle, so whichever you think works better for you. As you come out of the back, you're going to turn hard on the left foot, drive out over the left knee, and push the hand out to the left. What we're trying to do is get as far out over the left as possible so we can swing that right leg outside the circle or throwing area and get a nice wide sweep out of the back. As we come around the left foot, and remember that left foot is rotating hard and turning it and pulling us through. We're going to sweep the right leg outside the left and then throw it into the middle of the circle. So we're casting that right leg into the middle of the circle. As we come across and we're driving with that hip across the circle, I like to think about having feet in contact with the ring as much as possible. If you look at throwers like Ryan Krauser, or there's a young high school thrower named Peyton Montana I've been watching a lot lately, they spend a lot of time with both feet in contact with the ground. It doesn't have to be a huge dynamic jump across the ring. Get that foot across, keep your feet in contact with the ground as much as possible, because remember, whenever the feet are in contact with the ground, you're moving the ball. Anytime one of your feet comes off the ground, you're not putting any pressure on the ball anymore. So think about sweeping that right leg out and around the left, across the circle, and get those feet down as fast as possible. Okay, now we've swept that right leg around, we've pushed the leg and the hip towards the middle of the circle. We're still trying to make contact with the ground. We're going to come off the ground now, so there's going to be a split section where both feet are going to be off the ground at the same time. Once that happens, we're thinking about pinching our knees tight together. The right foot will land and immediately start turning, okay? If it goes dead, if your heel touches, the throw's over, okay? So the ball the right foot touches starts to immediately turn, our knees are kept tight, and we sling that left leg back towards the toe board, okay? Remember, keep the feet as close to the ground as possible. You want that left leg getting down as fast as possible in order to catch the ball further back behind your hip. When we hit the middle of the circle, remember, the ball should be behind that right hip with the arm extended. Nice high chest. This isn't the Braemar Stone. we're thinking more of a nice high rotational shot put power position, okay? So the chest will be nice and high, arm will be reached out far, knees slightly bent, but not too deep. And then once we hit that position, it's time to release. Okay, we found ourselves in the middle of the circle now. Knees are tight, both feet are down, balls back behind the right hip. Last thing we do is our release. Just like the South African, we're thinking about a big hip drive up and over the left, elbow across and down, right hand through at about a 42-degree angle, and release that ball hard. Make sure you don't watch it hit the ground. Big finish at the end. Go ahead and scream at the ball and get it out there as far as possible. Okay, what's coming up in the future for Fine Savage? Okay, so we have the 200th customer contest going on. We're a little bit of ways from that 200th sale, and the winner of that contest will get the free item of their choice off the website. You just let me know. I'll let you know if you're the 200th customer, and you let me know what item you want, and we'll send that to you free of charge. Coming up next on the podcast, Dak Pape, who you'll see doing all the footwork and all these drills. We're going to be talking about conjugate training for throwing. It's a podcast we did a while ago. I think we even got off the throwing and just talked about conjugate in general, but the majority of that podcast is about throwing, so make sure you check that out. That's going to be, I think by the time this comes out, it'll already be out, so check that out on the website. And then finally, we have the I'm Your Huckleberry shirts out right now for $17 on the website, I believe. You can check those out. If you go ahead and buy one of those and let me know that you got it, we're going to send you a sticker pack for free with that. So $17 on the website plus a sticker pack. So thanks very much for watching the show, and we'll see you next week.